Hey guys, it's Cubs and boy do I have one for you today. One of the main questions I've had over the last few days is do I have an updated 1 to 50 leveling build for Sorcerer? Well, I thought it was time I should update it. Now I have made some major changes. For those who don't know, I currently hold the world record for 1 to 50 in 4 hours 22 minutes solo as Sorcerer, and this is the build I did it with. Now, due to the nerfs to Hallowed Glacier and some changes they've recently made, the record will probably not be beaten for quite a long time, because even I'm struggling to beat it, but I do intend on trying. Now, I do have 3 different endgame builds coming out over the next week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them, and throw a like if you enjoy what you see. Now, we will be doing some season testing on twitch.tv/RoyalCubsTV, link is in the description, but let's get into it. To hit level 50 you need to know 2 builds, your loadout build and your Curator killer. I went through this in depth on stream, but what it means is you need to have a build you can play and also some minor tweaks you can make to make sure you can kill Curator at the lowest level possible to unlock your nightmare difficulty. Now, we're going to go through what skills to grab, at what level, and I'm also going to put the default planner and also the Google Docs inside of the description and the pinned comment so you can see. Now, one thing I would recommend before you start, you would always get to rank 3 renown on your main and pre-farm the dungeon aspect so you're ready to do this from the moment you get going. And as this is a speedrun guide, we remove all luck from the situation and only run with farmables. So yes, of course this can be stronger, and I will give you a couple of tips you can do to make it stronger as we go through. For the skills, we run with Arc Clash at the start, and the reason we run with we're on the Curator setup. There we go. We run with Arc Clash at the start. Why do we run with Arc Clash? Because we want flickering Arc Clash. It means as you're running past mobs, you can hit them once if there's a group of them and get an instant 18% movement speed for 5 seconds. This is a speedrunner's wet dream. I mean, 18% movement speed is absolutely amazing, especially at the low levels. Coming down, you're going to max out both Fireball and Chain Lightning, and that includes taking Enhanced Fireball and Destructive Fireball, and Enhanced Chain Lightning and Greater Chain Lightning. I will be putting a list in the description for your Excel document when you take them, and I will put a guide of how you actually, I will go through how you actually do the build and play the build as we go. Now we run Devastation for maximum mana +3, and then 3 points in Elemental Dominance, as all of our damage comes from Fireball and Chain Lightning, and 9% pure damage increase is not to be sneezed at. Now, we run with all 4 defensives. We don't upgrade Ice Armor to Enhanced for the main gameplay because you don't need the mana regeneration. However, I will go over the Curator build as well. Frost Nova, we run with Enhanced to get the cooldown back, and we also run with Mystical to get the mobs vulnerable when Frost Nova is up to make sure we can kill them, and also 6 seconds for bosses. We run 3 points in the Glass Cannon for the 18% more damage. You do take 9% more damage, so if you are struggling to stay alive, this can be swapped out for the likes of Mana Shield, but it is a big DPS loss. We run with Enhanced and Shimmering Teleport. Of course, reduction of cooldown is always wanted for Teleport, and Shimmering is only, it makes a 30% damage reduction for 3 seconds after doing it. It's a lifesaver, it really is. You always want to take it. Now, for Flame Shield, you're going to run with Enhanced for the movement speed increase, again, second to none, and we do run with Shimmering for the 50% missing life. If you feel you never need this because potions are enough, you can of course run it with the 25% mana cost reduction. I'll be honest, I normally swap between these during the run, like 3 or 4 times depending on if the mobs are too strong or if I need more mana. Now, we do run with 2 points in Inner Flames, which is 6% increased fire damage when you're healthy. As a lot of our damage comes from Fireball, this will be a major damage increase. We don't put 3 points in because we don't have any other points we can steal from anywhere else. All these points are pretty sturdy. I mean, we can take points out of Glass Cannon, but I don't want to lose 6 to only gain 3. And everything else I would say is pretty mandatory. Now, Permafrost, we don't need this of course for frost skills, but however we do take Hoarfrost because it gives us 27% damage to frozen enemies. I know you're going to say, well, it only says 18% cubs, but no, frozen enemies count as chilled at the same time. So because of it, you get 9% multiplicative for chilled and 18% multiplicative for frozen, so in total it's 27% multiplicative if the target is frozen. Hoarfrost is an absolutely amazing ability that's definitely underrated. Now, for the key passive, we do take Veers for the shock. It's a damage reduction, it's a damage increase, and we crit all the time. You'll see why shortly. So because of it, it's just a permanent massive damage reduction, damage gain. And we run with increased chance to crit due to course and currents. Hitting enemies with shock skills increases your crit chance by 3%. Resets upon getting a crit, which is what procs Veers. We also run with conduction. When you get a crit, you get 9% movement speed for 3 seconds. And we run convulsions. Shock skills after a 9% chance to stun enemies for 3 seconds. Just a very nice build. Now, how does it all work? I've gone to the skills. Well, it works by you're going to run past enemies, you are going to arc clash them and throw chain lightnings at them. You are going to be running with the fireball enhancement at level 15, which means when you kill them with chain lightning, they will explode, doing damage. Great. At level 30, you swap over to a chain lightning enhancement is your second one. So that means when you use chain lightning, you use it say 4 times, even 3 times looking at the mana cost, it's going to then proc a 4th chain lightning, which will kill them, which will cause fireballs to go off. And it's a run and gun, you never stop running. Arc clash, chain lightning, chain lightning, chain lightning, keep going past arc clash and keep going. And I bet you're thinking immediately, well, but that's going to be very mana intensive. And that's where we get to the build, and the armour. Now, when it comes to armour, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, you want these 4 stats perfectly rolled. You're level 1 to 50 for blooming hell's sake. You're not going to get those items. What I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the 2 best rolls for every item and the aspect that you can farm for it. So Helm first, you want to run with maximum mana, maximum life. Okay, you'll see me say maximum mana a lot, and that there is mainly to be able to keep up your elemental dominance above 50, and also your elementalist, which I'll get to shortly. Now, maximum life is the most overpowered thing for sorcerers from level 1 to 50 because we scale massively off shields. Because of it, we also run with 4% maximum life in our gems. If you actually get all 5 gems max and 3 max roll maximum life, you can have nearly 2,000 or 1,867 to be precise, life on your character. And that is ridiculous, as most classes at that level only have about 1,100. Now, for chest and we want to run with just protection. It comes from Lost Archives and Fractured Peaks. Very easy. Every time you damage an elite, you get a barrier for 10 seconds, and it can only happen once every 30 seconds. Even if you only have a minimum roll on it, it's still an 840 barrier, and it is honestly, it's invaluable. It really is. Now, we run with Snow Veiled. This here is a very questionable one by a lot of people, and it's casting Ice Armor makes you unstoppable. Now, you can also run with the becoming injured makes you unstoppable. Personally, I like to have a 3rd unstoppable because I've been very close to dying a few times on hardcore speedruns, and the 3rd unstoppable really helps me. The best thing I'll probably run with here would be your Flame Shield. When running through something with Flame Shield active, makes them immobilized, and you'll see why very shortly. Now, we always want to try and aim for maximum life on chest and close enemies damage reduction personally. Now, we run with Steadfast Gloves of Retribution. What that means is we're getting a 2 Fireball, 2 Chain Lightning. That's what you want. You want both of them, 2 of both on if you can. If not, just get 1 of them and maybe crit, or 1 in attack speed, something like that. But if you can, the perfect roll would be plus 2 Fireball, plus 2 Chain Lightning. Now, you do want to run with distance enemies have a chance of being stunned, but more importantly, you deal 20% more damage or 20 to 40% more damage to stun targets. That will really help when you do stun enemies utilising either your 10 stacks of Arc Lash, because every 10th hit stuns, or utilising Convulsions. Or if it just procs itself. Now, for legs, you're going to run Disobedience with close to damage reduction from close and maximum life. Again, maximum life gems in there. We've already discussed why. Anybody who doesn't know why Disobedience, it's just an insane. Everybody should be running Disobedience. It's brokenly good. Now, we'll come to boots last because they're a bit of a weird one. For weapon, you want to run a staff. Yes, one-hand run offhand is very good, and I would always recommend it at a high level for the cooldown reduction of the offhand. However, rolling a good offhand and a good main hand this early into the game is not going to happen. And also, staffs scale much earlier than one-handers, so because of it, you want to go for a good staff. You want to put control on it to do 70%, up to 70% more frozen and mobilized. That's where the Flame Shield one comes in, and stun targets, which is absolutely absurd. And additionally, you want to try and aim for, say, core skill, vulnerable, crit, damage to close, something like that. if you can. Just that's what you're aiming for. I would avoid crit damage to lightning. I mean, I would not roll it off if you've got some like damaged range there, but I would probably try and go for core vulnerable crit close myself. Now, for your necklace, we're going to go for Elementalist. That means you can have between a 30 and 60% increased crit chance if you're casted over 100 mana. But as I said, we're going to put 12 mana maximum mana onto our amulet. You've also got 3 mana onto your different devastation, and we will be going through them on the rings as well. For rolls, you want to go for movement speed and mana cost reduction. Yes, +1 to all defenses is nice. I'm not denying that. However, movement speed is just a pure luxury. It is a necessity for speedruns, but luxury for most. And mana cost reduction will really help you with your run and gun build. On that note, for both rings, you want to have maximum mana and resource generation to as high as you can. Okay, maximum mana is to keep yourself above 100 for the increased crit chance, and the resource generation is to get your mana back, and the abilities match that. So you're going to be running with Prodigy, which is or using cooldown gives you 15 mana. If it says 25, that's max rolled. 15 mana back. Because we run with 4 cooldowns, that's a lot of mana we get regenerated. And additionally, we want to run with Chain Lightning. When it bounces off you, you'll get 4 to 6 mana. This is really helpful for single targets if you've got to finish off any elites. Now, this here is pretty much the build. The way you work, as I said, you run around, you hit targets with Arc Slash for the movement speed increase. If you get too close, you just keep spamming Chain Lightning onto them. That will proc the Fireball enchantment, which will blow them up. And if you spend 100 mana, your Chain Lightning enchantment will proc, which will also launch another Chain Lightning for free. Use your Teleport, your Ice Armor, and your Flame Shield as immunities, or more importantly, Unstoppables, to get yourself out of trouble. Teleport, you can teleport into targets as well to reduce its cooldown, and also for the damage reduction if you feel you need to be quite aggressive with it. And Frost Nova we use on elite packs to make them vulnerable to kill them, and or on big packs, as it does reduce its cooldown for each target you kill up to 4 seconds. And that's pretty much the build. Now, I know it's very different to the build I normally play, because you've normally seen me playing Ice Shards. However, I do have a bit of a change up for the Curator, which I'm going to show you. Just before I do, I'm going to quickly flick over to this Google Docs, and this Google Docs, so that's very bright, and I don't know how to make it into a dark thing, but here is every single skill you should take at what level, okay? So that I'm going to also tag that in the description, and I'm not going to go through each one individually because it's all very self-explanatory on the screen here now. You've got your renown, 10 points, your level, your spell, if it's a passive, or what rank you're learning. Simple as that. Now, the only other alternative, like I said, is the Curator version. Now, for the Curator version, I've only put in 39 points, so you would only be level 38 at this point, or 39, sorry. You'd be level 39 at this point, and then the other points you can just add in based on the main loadout. And the reason I've done this is because most people want to try and kill a Curator at about level 40 to 43. Personally, I think 40 is a good number. Now, what we do is we swap away from Arc Slash, and we swap away from Fireball. We put 2 points into Firebolt. Okay. As we come down, we've then swapped out our enchantment to Firebolt as well. And we've also put Firebolt on our screen, but that's only just because we don't have Arc Slash anymore. And what that does is it applies burn to the target. You're going to see why very shortly. Now, we run with Mystical Flame Shield for the 25 mana cost reduction while the Flame Shield is active. Means we lose our heal. And we also run with Enhanced Ice Armor for the mana regeneration. We put 1 point into Elemental Attunement for the chance to get more defensives back. And we have taken 1 point out of Inner Flames, but put 3 points into Devouring Blaze, which you deal 30% increased crit chance against burning enemy, crit damage against burning enemies. If they're immobilized, it increases 75%. Well, your benefit to the Curator, what you're wanting to do is utilize Frost Nova, and also utilize your procs of Convulsions to stun to actually knock the Curator into stagger. Then, utilizing your 70% from your control, your 20 to 40% from your Retribution gloves, plus your 27% from Children Frozen, plus your 75% from Immobilized, because when a stagger decounters all of these increased. And bear in mind, control is 70% for Immobilized, Stunned, and Frozen, all multiplicative. That is how sorcerers do all their damage. So based on what I've just explained to you, you basically will do no damage to the Curator, maybe say 10%, you'll hit stagger and you'll pretty much one-shot him. Now, that's the main difference. We swap away from the likes of Fireball, we go for the burn, we kill him. What I'll say is, I wouldn't swap to this build until you are stood at his feet. Okay, so until after you've done the one where you've got to kill all the enemies just before he spawns, you're standing on his little ramp to walk down, you then swap your build over. Swap to this build, kill him, swap back. Because this one here will be slow in the open world, and the open world one will struggle against the Curator. It's why we have a second build. Now, that's pretty much how the build works, guys. Okay, if you are struggling, feel free to drop me a message. I will also be doing this run probably live tonight, and we will be on, what's this going to go live at 5, so we'll be on twitch.tv/RoyalCubsTV about an hour after this releases. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave in the comments below, but if not, hope you like what you see, and until next time, Cubs, you know it. Peace.